Hello, everyone, and welcome to Invitation to Puzzles, where today we have a Kurodoko puzzle submitted by dumediat. I am not 100% sure that I've done a Kurodoko puzzle before, so we're going to have to read the rules very carefully. So let's start doing that. So we need to shade some cells on the board. Shaded cells cannot be horizontally or vertically adjacent. Numbers can't be shaded. Cells represent the total number of unshaded cells that can be seen in a straight line vertically or horizontally, including itself. And all unshaded cells on the board form an orthogonally connected area. So I think the combination of rule 1, 2, and 4 is often called a domain puzzle, which includes stuff like Heiawake, among other things. And then this isn't the additional thing is like what the clues represent. Okay, so no, don't shade stuff next to each other. Don't divide the unshaded cells. Let's see. So yeah, this 5 is supposed to see 5 cells and it doesn't. The 7 is supposed to see 7 cells and it doesn't. But here you can see what it looks like. Okay. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, so where does one begin with making sure that we don't break anything? Because we get to combine the different directions. Anyway, there is a link, I should say, in the description if you want to try the puzzle yourself. Good luck. Let's see. What am I? Okay. Nope. Because the 4 does see that cigar. I was going to say the 4 can't extend all the way this way, but it can, right? It's not counting unclude. Interestingly, the clues never see each other in the example puzzle, but I assume the clues count other clues if they see other clues. I don't think there's anything that says the clues can't see. Well, I guess these clues are definitely going to see each other no matter what. This cell is shaded. There we go. If this cell was unshaded, then this 2 would see, in fact, 3 cells. So that cell's shaded, which means these 2 are unshaded. For sure. I've found a deduction. I'm not sure that it was a great deduction, but it was a deduction. Okay, I do know... I guess I know that 2 of these directions are shaded because the 2 can only have one unshaded cell next to it. I guess that does tell me that these 2 cells are unshaded, right? Because I need to shade 2 of these 3 cells to avoid the 2 seeing 3 things. And whichever 2 I shade, I always shade 1 adjacent to this cell and 1 adjacent to this cell. Okay. And then I guess I can do a similar thing with this 3, right? This 3 sees that 4 and itself. It gets to see 1 more cell. It sees one of those 2, meaning one of these 2 is definitely shaded, which means that's definitely unshaded. This cell is definitely unshaded. If this cell is shaded, this 4 sees 4 cells vertically, but that doesn't work because then the 3 also sees 4 cells vertically. So that's definitely unshaded. And now this 4, I can't unshade this cell because the 3 will then see too many things. And the 4 will actually also see too many things. And I have to remember as soon as I put in something that I should dot the cells next to it. Dotting, remember, means unshaded. It's the same as green in other genres. This 2 is now full, so I can do all of those. Okay, if this is unshaded now the 4 sees well, I was going to say sees way too many. If this is unshaded, the 4 sees 1 too many, and the 3 sees 1 too many as well. So in fact, this is shaded. And now we can finish the 4, which needs to see 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the only direction it can go. The 3 does see 3 already, so that needs to be shaded. This unshaded needs to connect to its friends, so that's unshaded. This 3 needs to not see too many, which it would if this were unshaded. It would see 4. This needs to connect to its friends. I was about to say we need to avoid a 2x2, but I'm 70% sure that's not actually one of the rules. It's not, in fact, actually one of the rules. So we won't avoid the 2x2 this time. Let's see. That 3 looks like it would be fine. Oh, this 3 is just quote unquote done. The only direction that it can get its third cell from is there, and then I need to stop it after that. So all of those are unshaded. Okay, so now because of that, this 2 now can't grow this direction. Because if the 2 grew that direction, it would actually be too big. So I can do things like I know this cell is unshaded, because this 5 needs to see exactly one more unshaded cell, which will be either this one or this one. And the other will be shaded, and so this cell will be next to a shaded regardless, so that will always be unshaded. Let's see, if this is unshaded, then this 5 is going to be done. It's unshaded. This 5 is going to be done. I can still do my thing that I know about the 2 that I did over here, which is I know that 2 of these are shaded, and so there's always one of these that's shaded next to it. I don't think it tells me anything at the moment, but it's true, and that's something. I was momentarily wondering if I disconnect the unshaded cells if I shade this, but I would have to be very careful about what I did with the 2. Oh, this cell, love God, this cell's unshaded because it's next to a shaded cell. That was the thing I was supposed to notice, because now this cell can't be unshaded because the 5 would see too many. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that cell is shaded. Okay, we won't talk about it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, and so now because of that, now the thing I see is I can't shade this cell at all, because if I shade this cell at all, I'm either shading that cell or that cell, and either way I've created an unbroken wall of shadeds that separate the unshadeds in an inappropriate way. Okay, this 5 now sees its 5, so we do have a 2x2. Let's see, this needs to connect around here in order to get our blob doing blob things. Let's see. I feel like this 8-3 is supposed to tell me something, but so far it has definitely not told me anything. That doesn't mean it's not supposed to tell me anything. It just means I haven't seen whatever I'm supposed to see. This 6, it's currently seeing 4. It can see at most one more in this direction. In fact, actually, this 6, we know exactly what 6 cells it sees. Because if it didn't see this one, its next 2 would be these 2, which would break this 2 into a million pieces. So it definitely sees that one, but now it needs to also see that one. in order for it to actually get to 6. So this 6 actually accidentally became completed at some point. Which I would have thought would be the kind of thing that would do something. It sounded like the kind of thing that would do something, didn't it? I sure thought it sounded like the kind of thing that would do something. How on earth is this going to turn out to be unique? It feels like I should be able to shade either of those. It's probably going to be this 8 that's going to do it or something. I don't use uniqueness as a, like, I'm going to use this as a deduction, but I will use the fact that I know the puzzle has a unique solution to sort of think about, like, okay, what has to eventually happen, and so what is it I'm trying to prove? Because it's useful to know the thing you're trying to prove before you try to prove it. Okay, I am prepared to argue that this cell is shaded. Because, and this is the basic argument, these aren't both shaded. One of these two is unshaded. And whichever of these two is unshaded, because if I shaded both of them, it would isolate that cell, is what I mean. Whichever of them is unshaded, it finishes the 3. So the 3 either finishes in that direction or that direction. So either way, that's shaded. Now, that was tricky for me. That does unshade these. That should not be tricky for me, but apparently it has been in the past. This 5 actually is almost done. It needs to go like that. Okay, this 6 can go at most 1 in this direction. And so it needs to get 5 in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I guess maybe here's the better way to say it. It can get at most 3 any direction that's other than up, so it needs to go at least 3 up. Because it can get those 3. And so now, in fact, actually, that finishes this 3. This needs to come over here in order to connect. These both now need to be unshaded in order to maintain my ability to connect. This 2 is done. This needs to connect. That needs to connect. This is unshaded because that's how clues work. Okay, I don't quite know what's happening with the 6 yet, I don't think. Oh, I do know that those are unshaded, though. If I actually mark that I know that those are unshaded, it actually tells me that this 3 is done. Which forces all of that just by connectedness, actually. That's unshaded because of the rule about touching stuff. Whether this is shaded or not yet, I don't think I know. It's going to depend on what exactly happens down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the 8 doesn't go that way, is what I have learned. So it is the 8 clue that's going to sort out up here, because now this is only a maximum of 7. Oh, sorry, I don't know that the 8... What I know is... Sorry, let me say this better. What I know is the 8 doesn't go only left, because it gets at most 7 cells left, so it has to go up at least 1. But the thing that sort of told me why I was knowing it was going one direction or the other is I'd noticed that finishes this 3 clue. The 3 clue is going to be finished no matter what happened to the 8. And so it was going to end up forcing the 8 to go one way, but I hadn't really articulated that out loud, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's shaded and that's unshaded. That was indeed how we resolved the world there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now the 6 is done. And there we go. There is what I was going to say I'm pretty sure it's my first Kurodoko. I'm not sure that's actually true. But certainly one of my first 5. But very nice. Thank you, dumediat, for contributing this puzzle. You too can contribute puzzles if you go over to the Zeta Math Discord and drop them in the Invitation to Puzzles thread, provided it is an appropriate difficulty level for Invitation to Puzzles, which this was a perfect invitation to this genre. I love dumediat's pencil puzzles. They're very cool. Although dumediat's Massieu always hurt my brain, it turns out, because dumediat is very good at Massieu. All right, but that is going to be all for today. Do please leave a comment down below. Let us know how you got on with the puzzle, and we'll see everyone next time on Invitation to Puzzles. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.